On June 12th, 2014, Elon Musk walked into his Palo Alto office, took every patent certificate off the wall, and published a blog post titled, "All our patent are belong to you." He told the world Tesla would never sue anyone for using its technology. He thought he was killing the gasoline car. He was arming the company that would dethrone him. Her name was BYD. Built by an orphan chemist from a poor village in Anhui Province, who once told reporters that 60% of his company's innovation came from existing literature. Tesla had just opened the library 11 years later, and by the end of 2025, that chemist company sold 2.26 million electric cars. Tesla sold 1.64 million, the biggest annual drop in Tesla's history. The world's largest EV maker doesn't sell a single car in America. The world's most famous EV CEO can't catch him. Flash forward, January 2nd, 2026. BYD's quarterly report drops. Tesla's drops 24 hours later. The numbers go official. The throne is gone. The man who took it is a chemist who started by making nickel-cadmium batteries for Motorola in a Shenzhen factory in 1995. But to understand how an open blog post in 2014 ended in a collapsed lead by 2025, you have to start in a much smaller room, a Bloomberg studio, October 2011. The anchor mentions a Chinese company called BYD. She mentions Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway owns roughly 10% of it. Musk, sitting across from her, starts laughing. The camera catches every second. The anchor asks him why he's laughing. Musk says, "Have you seen their car? I don't think they have a great product. The technology is not very strong. And BYD as a company has pretty severe problems in their home turf in China." In Shenzhen, a man named Wang Chuanfu watches the clip. If you want to see what happens when one man decides to read every page of the library his enemy left open, subscribe. This case file gets darker from here. Wang was orphaned in middle school. He was raised by his older brother and sister in rural Anhui. He clawed his way into Central South University of Technology to study metallurgy. By age 29, he founded BYD in Shenzhen with capital borrowed from his cousin. He spent his nights reverse engineering Japanese nickel-cadmium cells from Sony and Sanyo, building them by hand at a fraction of Japanese factory cost. By the year 2000, he had won the contract to supply Motorola's first Chinese lithium-ion battery order. By 2008, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway had bought a 10% stake in his company. By 2011, Elon Musk was laughing at him on Bloomberg television. Wang never gave a public response to the laughter. He did something else. He went back to work 3 years later, June 12th, 2014. Musk opens his blog and writes one of the most consequential sentences in modern industrial history. Tesla will not initiate patent lawsuits against anyone who, in good faith, wants to use our technology. He's giving up Tesla's legal moat on purpose. He explains his thinking in the same post. The real enemy is not other electric car makers. The real enemy is the trillion-dollar gasoline industry. Tesla cannot win that war alone. He needs every electric car maker on Earth to succeed. He gives the patents away. In Palo Alto, the press calls it visionary. Wired magazine calls it open source genius. The Electronic Frontier Foundation publishes a celebration. In Shenzhen, Wang Chuanfu opens a manila folder. Years later, in a rare interview about how BYD innovates, Wang gives a number that the Western press largely ignores. He says 60% of BYD's research and development comes from existing literature, 30% comes from analyzing samples from competitors, 5% comes from raw materials work, only 5% comes from original research, 60% literature. Tesla had just become the most important entry in that library. What Wang did with the access wasn't theft, it was legal. It was exactly what Musk had publicly invited, but it was patient, methodical, and ruthless. While Tesla scaled, Wang studied. While Musk announced, Wang iterated. While Palo Alto celebrated its openness, Shenzhen built a vertical empire that controlled every single link in the supply chain, from the lithium in the mine to the silicon in the chip to the steel pressed into the body panel. By 2020, BYD launched the Blade battery, a lithium iron phosphate cell, thermally stable, lower cost, longer cycle life. The chemistry Tesla had partially walked away from in favor of nickel manganese cobalt was now BYD's competitive weapon. The Blade battery passed nail penetration tests that set Tesla cells on fire. BYD made the test video public. By the first quarter of 2023, BYD's profits surged more than 400% year over year. By the fourth quarter of 2023, BYD outsold Tesla in pure battery electric vehicles for the first time in a single quarter. By the full year of 2025, the quarter became a year Tesla deliveries collapsed to 1.64 million units, down 8.6% from 2024, the biggest annual decline in the company's history, the second straight year of falling sales for a company that had grown nearly 50% annually at its peak. BYD deliveries climbed to 2.26 million pure electric vehicles, up nearly 28%, without selling a single car in the United States. China remains Tesla's second largest market in the world. BYD owns China. Wang Chuanfu's net worth is now approximately $25 billion, almost entirely from his roughly 29% stake in BYD. He still spends most of his working hours, by his own admission, on technology and product development. He is 60 years old. He gives almost no interviews. He has never publicly mentioned the Bloomberg clip again. Musk is still tweeting. The patents are still open. The blog post is still live on Tesla's website. In 2014, Musk told the world that patents were holding back the future. He said the patent system protected the past. He said giving the technology away was the only moral path forward. He was right about one thing. The patents were holding back the future. He just didn't realize whose future they were holding back. Every empire has the moment where it hands the enemy a map of the city. Tesla's was a blog post. The receipt was a quarterly report 11 years later. Next case file drops Friday. Subscribe so you don't miss it.